Sup everyone, GTM in here. I figured I'd answer one of the questions that is asked the most, and that is, who is that guy in your thumbnails? It's something that's frequently asked, and I kind of wonder if people are being serious or not, because this guy is actually very, very popular. So for those who don't know, his name is Ozzy Osbourne. Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell yet, then you're probably either young or just have been listening to a completely different type of music all your life, which is fine, you know. I happen to have grown up with music like that. I started off with, Guns N' Roses, and it kind of went heavier and heavier and heavier. And, my dad always listened to Pink Floyd and kind of, listened to that stuff too, and all that kind of old school stuff. I never really listened to modern music when I was growing up, so I didn't really get to know it. And I kind of just stuck with it, which is one of the reasons why Ozzy is always so much in my thumbnails. So who exactly is Ozzy Osbourne? Now, I'm gonna give you a very quick history lesson with some examples of his music where you probably or might know him from. Ozzy Osbourne is or was the lead singer for Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is a band starting in 1969 with his self-titled debut album Black Sabbath. Now, this is probably an album that you don't really know, but what you might know is the Paranoid album, which was their second album released in 1970, with their undoubtedly most popular song, Paranoid. Now, if this song doesn't ring a bell yet, then one of the other songs on the album, which is actually the very first song that you hear when you launch the album, is this one, War Pigs.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war.
Or maybe from that same album again, Iron Man. Still doesn't ring a bell? Well, don't worry. After a while and doing way too much drugs, he got kicked out of the band because, they weren't doing massive amount of cocaine either, so fuck Ozzy and you're out. And yeah, then he started a solo career with his debut album in 1980 called The Blizzard of Oz. Now, Blizzard of Oz is undoubtedly his most known song, which is called Crazy Train. Now, there are many other Ozzy songs that you probably know, but I've just given a few quick examples of where you probably know him from. There's an entire backlog of music that you should probably listen to if you like music with guitars. I mean, especially Tony Iommi is one of my favorite guitarists of all time. The amount of riffs that man knows and just does is ridiculous. My personal favorite Black Sabbath song, by the way, is The Warning on the very first album. It's just a gigantic fucking riff carnage. It's brilliant. I love it. But there are so many other great songs, Snowblind, and it just goes on and on and on. And one of the brilliant things about Black Sabbath is that every album sounds very different, and especially the melodies and Ozzy's voice too. So if you're interested in what type of music Ozzy made with Black Sabbath and solo, Spotify is a thing. Don't bother looking up Ozzy on YouTube. You're not going to find anything, because his management is like, fuck you, we want all the money. So that brings the other question, how did this all came about? Well, the reason this all came about is that at some point I was like, hey, it would be funny to send people, Ozzy Osbourne with his middle fingers up. So I searched on Google, Ozzy Osbourne middle finger, and this picture came up. Now, funny enough, a few weeks later, I was on the Rockstar livestream, and I was asked a question by British Voice, who was then the host of the Twitch livestream. And he asked me, like, what's the deal with those Ozzy pictures? And I was like, well, nothing really, but now that you mention it, I'm just gonna go and make it a thing, just to piss you off. And then I did. And that same evening, I went on Google, typed in Ozzy Osbourne, and to my surprise, this man has a reaction to everything. He has a face that he just pulls the most weird faces and has a middle finger for everything, thumbs up, all kinds of things. It just never ends. Literally, I'm going to search Ozzy Osbourne right now and show you a screenshot and what comes up. I mean, from this screenshot alone, you can just see what you can expect if you look further and start scrolling down, because it just never ends with shit like this. And it's perfect, because whenever I have a video and I need a thumbnail and I'm like, I'm not too sure what to do, I just open my massive Ozzy Osbourne picture folder and I'm sure there will be something there that will fit the thumbnail and topic. It's brilliant. And that's kind of how it all, went and how it continues to go, I guess. In a way, it also has helped me in my channel because people have picked up on it. And now whenever I use a thumbnail like that, people know it's me, which is great. I mean, I don't necessarily have, all the mod tools, for example, that Gypsy uses. I should really, but I guess the Ozzy pictures work too. And I mean, he has just got a face for everything, so I guess it works. I don't know. It's fun. It's just all meant to be a bit of fun, like with the YouTube channel in general. So yeah, if you want to know more about Ozzy, you can always just type it away in the Wikipedia. There's a lot of rich history and there's a lot of brilliant music as well, and I'm not gonna go over it all because I'm sure not everyone is too interested in that. So definitely go and give the Black Sabbath albums a listen up until Never Say Die. Then that's where the Ozzy area ends, and then there's also 13, which was released in 2013, which by the way is also a brilliant album. But go listen to some Black Sabbath and Ozzy. Do yourself a favor if you're into that type of music. If not, give it a try. If you don't like it, that's fine. Anyway, that was it. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope this cleared things up, and I'll see you all later.
Yesterday